Here's something you probably never thought about before. Do you know where the stationery shop is in Stars Hollow? Yeah, the stationery shop. This one. Do you ever think about the fact that they even have a dedicated stationery shop? Like, is that stupid? Well, maybe it's not that absurd, right? It's a town of nearly 10,000 people. They might need somewhere to buy stationery. Especially back in the year 2000 when there wasn't really a computer to be seen in any classroom. You know, the kids got to write on stuff, you know. People wrote their shopping lists on paper like idiots. But a town this big having a separate bookstore and dedicated stationery store? And you know what? Stars Hollow's not that big. It would rank as Connecticut's 98th largest town by population. Just ahead of Woodbury. Hey, how about that? Hey, let's have a look at Woodbury then. See if they've got a stationery store in town. It doesn't look like it. There is a shop which claims to be a stationery store, you know, way out of town. But it looks like it's just a gift shop with a bunch of crap for sale. Except for this thing. Down the road from this shop is a Gilmore Girls themed yarn store. I mean, what do you know? I don't know, let's say it's plausible that they would have a stationery store. After all, they do have a dedicated cat-related product store, so why not? No, it's just that the available commercial real estate is pretty limited in Stars Hollow. They have a pretty compact little town centre, especially compared to the car-dependent hellholes of real-life small-town Connecticut. Good luck walking to the yarn store without getting run down by a truck. Sure, there could exist a bunch of commercial space outside what we see in the show, but you know, they really focus on the prime locations in the town centre. You know, there's probably like 25 commercial tenancies in the area shown around town, so you know, there's only really a few good locations for the retail businesses in town, and there are surprisingly a lot of businesses in town. Now, off the top of my head, there's Luke's Diner, the flower shop that later becomes Taylor's Candy Store, Dosie's Market, Miss Patty's School of Ballet and Ice Skating, Sophie's Music Store, Weston's Bakery, the Stars Hollow Video Store, Stars Hollow Bookstore, the Black, White and Red Movie Theatre, Stars Hollow Beauty Store, the racially stereotyped pizza place, the Cat Club, of course, the arcade, Gypsy's Garage, the post office, aka mailboxes, etc., the Stars Hollow Gazette offices, Casey's Tavern, that one bar they have, the Hungry Diner, Casey's Annex, which apparently is a burger place, and you know, there's probably like a dozen more that I'm forgetting, and that doesn't even take into account the businesses that we don't ever see. Maybe they're just like around the corner out of shot, like Al's Pancake World, and Teriyaki Joe's, JoJo's Burger Place, another burger place, and the Stars Hollow Bank, which definitely exists. I think the point I'm trying to make is, I think it's great that they decided to make an entire stationery store set purely for the purposes of making some dumb joke about a suicidal eraser.
These erasers are on lithium, so they may seem cheerful, but we actually caught them trying to shove themselves in the pencil sharpener earlier.
Like someone had to go out and buy an entire stationery store's worth of inventory just so they could have this one silly little scene. In a later episode, when they actually need to go and buy stationery, they just went out to what looks like an actual stationery store and filmed. And then after the scene, they never needed to use the stationery store again, so they just turn it into Bootsy's newsstand and pretend like that was there the whole time. The other reason I've spent several minutes talking about the stationery store is that, while this is remembered as an all-time classic episode, and it's a good episode, don't get me wrong, you know, one of the best, but, like, not much really happens in it. You know, that's not really the dig that it sounds like. I'm very much of the opinion that the kind of slower paced nature of these early episodes is what makes them great and really rewatchable. Like, this is briefly what happens in this episode. Rory gets a bad grade and then gets bullied at school. Lorelai goes to the parent-teacher meeting, flirts with Rory's teacher before finding out about Rory's bad grade. Then they have a study montage and the girls fall asleep and then Rory is late. Then on the way to the test, Rory gets hit by a deer, ends up missing the test, and then he yells at everyone before Lorelai also yells at everyone. And in the B plot, Suki is upset about her risotto and is generally a psycho. Now, let's compare that to a later episode. Here is the outline of a episode from season 6, episode 12, chosen completely at random. The town is woken up in the middle of the night and called to a special town meeting where Taylor tells everyone he won't be able to get back to town to organise the annual winter carnival, but everyone decides to do it without him. Logan is trying to woo Rory back after he had intimate relations with several of his sister's friends while they were broken up. Luke secretly meets up with his newly discovered daughter in the park where Lorelai won't find out. Meanwhile, Kirk is now in charge of the winter festival. He's harassing Lorelai about her choice of booth for the festival, where she'll dress up her dog Paul Anka as a doggy swami, but she's too busy organising the New England Maple Syrups Council gathering at the inn. At the paper, Paris continues her authoritarian rule over the staff. Luke organises for April to come over for another visit, this time at the diner, and then Rory stumbles across a meeting between the paper staff where they plan to oust Paris as editor. We're not even halfway through yet. Lorelai runs into Taylor back at Stars Hollow. He's disguised as some German guy. She runs into Zach, who has just broken up with Lane, and the band is split up. Then runs into Kirk again, who is setting up a rival tarot card stand at the festival. Then April shows up at the diner to hang out, while Logan goes to the inn in an effort to get Lorelai to help him win Rory back. She then goes to the diner, where she meets up with April for the first time, and they have a little fight outside the diner because why wouldn't you tell her about that, you idiot? Then back at the paper, Paris assigns everyone a number, making them hate her even more. Then Logan shows up at Rory's place, and they get back together, thanks to Lorelai's letter. Then Rory goes back home, and Lorelai tells her about Luke's daughter. Then they go to the festival, where Zach harasses the Korean George Clooney, and then Luke apologizes to Lorelai, and everything is fine again because nothing matters in this show. Again, it's the fact that nothing really happens in these early episodes that make the memorable scenes stand out. You know, you think of this episode and are like, yeah, that's the one where Rory gets hit by a deer. Remember that? It was great. In that season 6 episode, what was the memorable defining moment? Like when April fills up some salt shakers, I guess? Maybe when Paul Anka has a hat on? Fuck, who knows? Now, you remember this episode mostly for the silly thing that happens in the middle. You know, it's fun and silly. There's something majorly wrong about this scene, and that is that Louise gets an A and Madeline gets a B on the paper. I know they haven't developed these characters at all yet, but these two are supposed to be the stupid sidekicks to the mega smart heel character. You know, there's no way that these two get good grades on the super hard paper that Rory completely fucks up. Even later this very season, they're portrayed as two boy-obsessed ditzes. Rory takes a Rory-sized bite out of a chocolate bar. That is the smallest possible bite it takes to make it look like she's actually eating. Later on in the episode, she threatens to actually eat some pie, but they just cut away, you know, just in time so she doesn't have to.
Well, where do you want us to go? Library.
Oh, there's a library too. Add that to the list. We head back to the inn where there is apparently one of Stars Hollow's patented giant early morning sandstorms happening outside. I never really noticed that the inn scenes were shot on a soundstage until now, but it's all I can see. Like, what the hell is supposed to be on the other side of these windows? Next season they gin it up a little bit more and put some plants on the other side of the window and make the lighting inside a little bit better. But the sandstorms don't just happen to the inn. You know, sometimes downtown Stars Hollow suffers the same thing. You know, here's Luke's diner in season 5. It's quite disorientating not being able to see outside the windows here. Suki pours coffee into a cup for Lorelei, and we absolutely see it go in there. 100% verified coffee in the cup. But Suki starts her off pretty slowly, and she has the tiniest pour into this massive 7,000 gallon cup. And then Lorelei doesn't drink any of it for the rest of the scene. We're so close. Then later on in the show, they pull the old coffee pouring sound effect trick on us again.
Tutor for Bethany.
Always a valid option.
Jesus, Mary Joseph and the Camel.
We see no coffee go in. So, for all we know, she's drinking Mr. Medina's urine or something.
It just keeps getting worse.
Hey, while I'm completely ruining the show for people, I'd like to point out one of the most infuriatingly overused sayings that comes up over and over again. Max says it here.
This is a big one, my friends.
Now, I don't know how many times they use the term my friend or my friends in this show, but I would guess at least 30 times. Trust me, it's a lot, and once you notice it, it's going to annoy the hell out of you too. Oh, what was that? You want a compilation of every time someone says my friend? Great, here you go.
This is a big one, my friends. That, my friends.
In comes the seedy crowd. You got trouble, my friend.
And that, my friends,
And now, my friend,
You have the funk, my friend.
Brown is your color, my friend.
Then that, my friend, is the end of this discussion.
you, my friend, might just be mistaken for a gentleman.
Gross. Eat in ignorance and enjoy, my friend. This, my friend, is a state-of-the-art CD clock radio.
Because, my friend, people are lazy.
There's a lot of wasted cardboard in here, my friend.
In smart thinking, my friend. You have to spend money to make money, my friend. It's a little tip from me to you. It's not a bad place to be, my friend.
Never underestimate the power of alliteration, my friend.
I'm talking about eminent domain, my friend.
That, my friend, is a whole lot worse than baby talk. Two birds with one stone, my friend.
And it is a hard test, my friend.
Oh, that'll change someday, my friend.
Plan. And you, my friend, need a life plan.
How do you think they invented the Reese's cup and penicillin, my friend?
2 full pant sizes, my friend, all because of you.
I'm here to lend you gender support, my friend.
It's in the Booster Club bylaws, my friend. I looked it up myself.
I am liberated, my friend.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you, my friend.
Romantic cruises say commitment, my friend.
You're the one with the pointy ears, my friend.
It's about scratching backs, my friend, and kissing things. I won't be graphic.
One night in the hallway does not a true naked guy make, my friend.
I know what 55 is, and that, my friend, was not 55.
Oh, yes, your limboing days are over, my friend. Thanks for putting up with me.
Oh, yes, my friend. Rich people like their sweaty mats to have expensive homes. It's a really big help, my friend. I owe you.
One less wedding you're gonna have to go to, my friend.
You don't know that.
Trust me, my friend, it will get easier. Whose face appears to you, my friend?
Well, things change, my friend.
Flattery will get you everywhere, my friend.
It's being part of the cycle of life, and that, my friend, is pure rock and roll.
Supply and demand, my friend.
Date extra number 2.
brilliant, my friend.
And you, my friend, are not double straining.
If she wants you to double strain that sauce, you will double strain that sauce, my friend.
Au contraire, my friend.
It's vintage Huntsburger, my friend. Friday nights and in jail.
Really?
Welcome to the grind, my friend.
That's commitment, my friend. Eternal damnation.
To the very end, my friend.
This is stupid.
Oh, you're making me an optimist, my friend.
You've got the queer eye, my friend. We came face to face with your doppelganger, my friend.
So we followed.
That, my friend, is a sign. Got moxie, my friend. I'll give you that. Now that is what a mind is for, my friend.
Not until 4, my friend.
Just wait, my friend.
The Penguin movie rocks.
They'll move you, my friend.
You, my friends, do not have the talent of Pat Boone.
I am the champion, my friend, you know. Okay, that is pre-pickled news, my friend.
It's hanging great, my friend, so check it out.
Look a little closer, my friend.
That means a giant
There you go.
milkshake for you, my friend.
Wow, 67 times. And I bet you thought I was exaggerating. Sorry, but that had to be done. Luke is still shoving the diner pad down his damn pants. How has Taylor, the amateur food inspector, not complained about this to him?
What's with all the risotto? Have we gone theme now? Ooh, is it gonna be like the Scotch tape store?
Hey, is that a reference to the Doom stationery store? Or was there also a Scotch tape store? Add that to the list. Ooh, actor double up alert. I feel like we need a siren or something for this now. How about... Perfect. Okay, this guy right here comes back in season 2 to play the doctor who fixes up Rory after her car crash. I thought this guy might possibly be working at the inn to put himself through medical school, but this is like a year later, so this guy has definitely been moonlighting as a waiter. Or has he been moonlighting as a doctor? Who knows? There was also this guy in the parent-teacher meeting who comes back later as Tristan's dad, but this is actually an instance of them possibly doing the right thing. You know, they're like, oh, we need someone to play Tristan's dad. Who can we get? Oh, how about this guy? He was at the parent-teacher meeting in season 1, so it makes sense that he would be a parent of one of the students. Nice. Well done. Casting by Mara Casey and Jamie Rudofsky. You guys got one right. Not to be outdone by Emily in the previous episode, the Gilmore house now has the biggest lighting rig in their dining room. You know, it's not like Rory to be so unprepared to not go to bed properly before the big test. Now, I know her bad grade flustered her, but she's definitely the type of person who would set 6 different alarms before an important early start. So she's late, but why is Rory taking a back dirt road? You know, what scenario is taking a random dirt road that for some reason has a stop sign going to be faster to get to school than just like getting on the highway? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the Warner Brothers lot has a bunch of dirt roads in the back where they used to film, like right here. And I'll tell you one more thing. Why would there be deer on the highway? And where on the highway would you be able to stop and make a phone call? I originally thought that Rory was driving down the wrong way on this road because when she gets out of the car, the stop sign is facing the wrong way. Like, you would never see this in real life because it's extremely dangerous and confusing. But then you see the sign from the other side in the car, facing the correct direction, so it was in the right spot when she drove up and stopped. But then when she gets out, it's clearly a one-sided sign with a post on the back. Like, what the hell is going on here? I'm guessing someone on set was like, but people are stupid. How will they know she actually stopped at a stop sign if they don't see the stop sign? And then they just spun the sign around for the outside the car shot. You know, little did they know that this would keep me up at night. This whole thing with the restaurant reviewer ends in a really strange way. You know, the reviewer clearly lives across the road from the school in town, so Suki would 100% know who this guy is. She lives like 3 houses down the road from him. She had to get her address from her, quote, network of culinary friends, and then must have been flabbergasted to learn that he lived next door the whole time. He probably moved straight out of town after this incident too. I cannot be living next door to people like this. The girls take the exact same route back to town from school down the dirt road, confirming that it can't have been a shortcut and is in fact the best, most efficient route in and out of Stars Hollow. This town of 9,900 people has a dirt road in and out. A road that is bloody teeming with wild, murderous deer just waiting to strike again. The town should be less worried about ticks and more worried about paving their damn roads. When they get home, there is a message from Max where he basically undermining everything Headmaster Charlton said about being responsible for your actions. You know, he organized for Rory to do a bunch of makeup work and then leaves a sexy shout out to Lorelei. Hey baby, call me. You know what? Max is basically using his power to bend the rules for Rory so he can get into Lorelei's pants. And it sucks. And it's bad. And I don't like it. And that, my friends, is all I have to say about it.